Just slap on a pair of bell bottoms and some platform boots and a t-shirt, man. It just feels right.
Yeah.
Put on a record. I would much rather listen to a record than listen to a CD or stream something off my phone.
If you go on Spotify and you're like, you go to like the song credits, do you see how many people it takes to write these shitty songs? Like,
No.
it's crazy. There's like 12 people on. Okay, so there's like one guy who performed, Kanye West, let's just say, well, probably a bad example at this point in time. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Set. This is the very first episode of Beyond the Set, and I am joined by the lead singer of Sweet Desire, Jordan McCaulley. Jordan, it is a pleasure to have you as
Thank
the
you.
first guest on Beyond the Set. That's
Yeah.
it's a good moment. It's a good moment.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So I mean, let's just jump right into it. I've been wanting to know for quite some time, as I saw, like, I don't know how many months ago now that it's happened, but you opened up for the Steve Miller Band, you and the whole crew. Can you just, like, I just want to know, like, how was that? Because, like, I love the Steve Miller Band.
I mean, it was pretty nuts. That's like 13,000 people
Oh my gosh.
in Detroit, Michigan is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Especially, like, we're from Altoona.
Mm-hmm.
So we played in front of, I don't know, what do you get at McGarvey's? 200, 250 maybe?
Yeah. I didn't even know you could. That's a lot of people packed in that little spot in McGarvey's there.
I might be pushing it, but well,
Yeah.
just say. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. Like, we sat down and we got to have dinner with the whole band.
Really?
Like, backstage.
Oh wow.
And just nuts experience.
How did that even, like, come about? Like, did you just kind of, like, reach out, or did they?
So we recorded our first single in Detroit. And Jimmy Bones, the piano player for Kid Rock, he was on it, which was also just nuts that we just met this guy, and he is this guy, and he's the coolest dude ever, by the way. He loves hockey. I just talked to him the other day over the weekend. He was like, I'm going to see the Detroit Red Wings, man. I was like, have fun, dude. But anyways, he came and recorded on the song, and he ended up getting a hold of the guy at Live Nation. They were looking for an opener for the Steve Miller Show, and they tried, I don't know how many other bands they tried, but he was like, I got these guys from Altoona, man. You might want to see what they can do. And we were like, yeah, are you kidding me? So me and Kenton were actually at the beach, my guitar player. We were in Ocean City, and we had to leave there early to drive to Detroit to do the thing, but it was nuts.
That's crazy. Like, that probably, like, I know you have, like, a, like, your I'm sure you get this, like, all the time, but, like, your stage presence is, like, one of the, like, the coolest thing about, like, obviously you, but, like, the band in general. Like, when you come out on stage, and, like, I'm sure you get compared to, like, Robert Plant often.
Oh yeah, at least once or.
I figured, yeah. You have the, like, you almost look identical to him, like, from a distance, and like, doing that in front of, like, 13,000 people. I didn't even know it was that much. That's a lot of people. And, like, what was your biggest crowd like before that one?
Probably like 1,200 at the Legion Park, the Wingfests, which
Holy hell.
was also, like, that's just huge.
That is a lot of people.
But yeah, that was insane for sure.
What so, like, going out on stage in front of, like, 13,000, like,
Shitting myself.
yeah, figured.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, what were you feeling? But, like, I could only imagine, like, you probably go out there like, fuck, like
yeah, we're gonna die.
yeah. Holy hell, that's, like,
I didn't even look, like, we were walking out, and I come out last, and I stared at Kenton's ass the whole way out to the stage. I was like, fuck this. I'm not looking up until I had to. It was crazy.
So, like, how many songs? How long were you out there? Like, how many songs did you guys play?
We were out for 45 minutes.
Damn.
And we played, the whole set was originals besides the last song we did, Working Man. And we made that last like 15 minutes.
Wow.
So,
like, guitar solos and, like, drums.
oh yeah, we were just jamming, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's insane. So, like, I mean, I saw the videos. So, like, obviously the crowd loved you guys. now do you have like, did you build any connections from like opening for them? Like with any, like, did you build any connections with anyone else, or like, do you have like their contact info now? Like,
I mean, we have contact info with like the Live Nation people, but it was more of a, just like a, I don't even know what you want to call it. Just like that moment, like we got to do that. It was crazy. I would have never in my whole life been like, yeah, I'm gonna share a stage with Steve Miller, dude.
Yeah,
what?
that is like when I saw that. I think I was just like scrolling on Instagram. Of course, I like follow you guys, so like I'm just like scrolling through, and I just saw like it was like you, and then in front of you was just like all these people. Like there's just so many people, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I mean, I knew you guys were like popular around here, but I'm like, what? Like, where is this? And I read the caption, and then I saw like Steve Miller Band. I'm like, one, badass that you're representing Altoona like that. Like that's sick. And like two, like I just couldn't believe like how that just happens like that. Like, you know, someone local, and like of course Steve Miller Band, like one of the largest like dominant like rock groups.
Oh yeah,
for such a long time. I was just like blown away by that, and I knew I was like, I need to talk to him at some point, like about this. Yeah, that's awesome. Like what, with Sweet Desire, like how'd you guys find each other? Like what was like the root of like the start of Sweet Desire?
So Trey and Kenton have been best friends since they were like born, pretty much. And then they started jamming together, and they tried a couple of like different people and whatever, and it wasn't working out. But they met me at Def Leppard tribute show at the Jaffa, and they were like, yeah man, you like want to come jam sometime? I was like, sure. So then Trey actually forgot I existed for like a month and never messaged me, and I was like, I'm gonna reach out to this guy because I want to jam.
Yeah.
So I reached back out to him. He's like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot you existed. I was like, it's fine. So I actually went over and I auditioned for guitar player. I auditioned for lead guitarist because Kent wanted to be rhythm.
Did they have a singer at the time?
No.
Okay.
So I'm ass at guitar compared to Kenton. I'm just awful. So I was like, last ditch effort. I'm like, dude, I sing. So we.
Did you actually sing at that time?
No.
Or was it just like in the car, like singing,
Nah,
I
like sang in the shower my whole life.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah,
okay.
man, I can sing.
Okay, cool.
So I auditioned, I sang a song, and I mean, and I was in as a singer.
What song did you sing?
Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And then they actually met Josh at Antique Depot's record shopping, and he was with another group at the time. And he was like, man, I don't know, man, I got something going on here. And then it fell through, and he was like, okay, I'm in. So he auditioned in my backyard the night after one of our shows. So it's been a wild ride ever since then, man.
Yeah. How many years have you guys been doing this now?
Was this 2025?
Yep.
It'll be 4.
Really?
4 in, with the 4 of us, it'll be 4 in September. 4 years.
Damn. That's pretty good. That's good. Now with your voice has like this like rasp to it where it like kind of sounds painful. Like, does it hurt like to like scream like that sometimes? Like, how do you do that without? Because if I tried it right now, I'd probably like actually lose my voice and like my vocal cords would rip out. But like, how do you like even? Do you like warm up? Like, because I know,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, vocal warm ups, 1000%.
Sure.
Yeah, like warm room temp water, hot tea.
Damon from the Pines, I know I see he does like the honey thing before he goes out on stage. I don't know if do you do that as well?
I used to do that a lot, but I actually found out it's not good for you to do
really?
that. Yeah, because the glucose in it.
Damon, you gotta stop with the honey stuff, man. You gotta stop.
But yeah, it's the glucose in it dries out your throat.
Really?
But I used to do a honey pot. Like I would have a honey pot on the stage, and I would just dip it and go.
Wow. I figured it would like lubricate your throat, wouldn't it? Or like
yeah, it does for that moment.
Until it doesn't, then it's like.
And then the glucose dries your throat out. And I did not know that. I did that for like 3 years.
when did you like figure that out? Like, did it just start like hurting, like to yell?
No, I did a lot of like, people were telling me, like I was getting good and bad, like you should and you shouldn't,
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
and you shouldn't. And I got laryngitis last year and I was like, okay, I need to figure out, like clean slate, start over. What are we doing here? So then I was like, well, the honey is actually bad for you. So I just quit. And I put it in my tea still because it's soothing.
Sure.
But yeah, not on stage, man. It's just room temp water now.
Cool. So since the Steve Miller Band opening, like, what have you guys been up to? Because I mean, I see you guys on Instagram, like you guys are very active with posting and stuff, but like what big projects are you working on, like albums or anything like that?
Yeah, we are doing an album right now.
Okay.
Our first one, and then we're getting ready to hit the road, actually.
Okay.
We have...
Like a tour?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
So I'm not going to, like... There's a couple dates that are confirmed. Like, we have Nashville, March 28th at the Vinyl Lounge, and...
Damn.
What else do we have? Long Island, New York, Philly, Toledo. We're going back out to Michigan for a festival.
How are you guys getting there, like, by car?
Yeah, man, we have a big van. It's called the Tub.
The Tub?
Yeah, we just got the Tub.
No way. Is it just like a white van?
Yep, it's huge.
Really? Does it have like your logo and stuff on the side?
No. Just keep it discreet, man. You don't want people to break in.
It has windows though, right?
Oh yeah, it has windows with
Okay,
curtains.
That's good. At least it wasn't like those solid white vans where
Yeah,
like,
no,
there's
it
just
ain't
nothing around.
Yeah, it's not a creeper van.
Okay,
man.
good. The reason I asked how you're getting there is because like I just learned today for the first time, and, like he can attest to this. I just like people travel by train still. Do you know this?
Really?
Like a lot. Like I just discovered this, and like I was made fun of all day, and they said they're like, I just had no idea that like actually existed. Like
people travel by train still.
People still, and I guess it's really cheap, and like I didn't believe it, and so I got on like Amtrak and I like looked to see like what it was to like Altoona to Pittsburgh. It's like $30. It's like people travel by train. Like it's insane, and like I never see any trains go through Altoona. Do you? Like
no, other than the regular ones down at the railroad. But
yeah, like we're doing a film here soon, and our actor like in the budget it said like train ticket, and I looked at it and I was like, he's from New York City, and I'm like he's getting in a train from New York City to Altoona, and I'm like, why wouldn't he just drive? And then I was told how cheap it is, and then I was also told that like all these people travel by train like all the time. Like I just like a little side note, I just was like really shocked by that.
I think I'd rather do that than fly, man. I don't like flying.
I just came back from California on a plane, and we flew Spirit, which is never fly Spirit. It's like the worst. Spirit, please don't sue me. But it was like the tightest plane ride ever. Like my knees were like up here, and it was just like they could have probably had like comfortably like 150 people on it, but they decided to shove like 250 people on it, and it was just like it was just horrible. The way back wasn't as bad, but it was still Spirit, so it was like it was cramped. But the train thing, like I might travel by train more. Like
I would do that for sure.
I thought it was I think that's kind of sick.
Scenic?
Yeah.
It's got to be scenic.
Yeah, you get to drive, or well, you don't drive, but like you get to ride on a train, and like you just look out the window and there's just like shit flying by you instead of like clouds, you know, like in a plane. And like, but like a road, especially with like your buddies in a van, like nothing probably ever would beat that. Like a road trip in a van. Like that's, I've never been in a road trip in a van, but I could only imagine it's probably
the trips
fun.
we've already taken. It's quite the experience.
Yeah. So how many states have you guys like been to perform? Or like has it only been like a few?
Ohio, Kentucky, North Carolina, Michigan, West Virginia. Did I say Maryland already?
Nope.
Maryland. I think that's it.
Do you know how many shows you guys have done?
No.
So like a lot. A lot. Okay.
A lot.
That's so cool because like I've always, this is kind of like, I don't think I've told anybody this actually. So like you're like a first. I've always wanted to like kind of be a musician. like in a way. But it was always one of those things. Like I have an electric guitar in that room over there. I'm like okay at it. I definitely like if I got on stage, it would just sound like a beginner playing guitar, and I've been playing for like 2 years. So like I just
I
feel
get
like,
it, man. I'm the same way.
yeah,
It's fun.
it's one of those things you just never get better at, and it's just like I don't know why I even keep picking it up, to be honest. But yeah, I mean I've always like wanted to do that, but I can never figure out like what part I wanted to do. It was either guitar or singing, but like you're different because like you're actually like a talented singer, but like I feel like most people like when they're in the car and they're like singing a song like, you know, on the radio, like to them they sound good, but like they actually sound like shit, you know? So I just always keep that in mind and be like, yeah, let's just stick to like dicking around with cameras instead of trying to be a musician. But like it's always been a thing that and stand-up comedy, which
Now that's interesting. Stand-up comedy. Yeah.
yeah, which this is like a half attempt to do that, because I did write like a stand-up routine, but like it was every person I've like performed it in front of, like privately, they just kind of like, I think they weren't laughing at the joke. I think they were laughing at like, wow, you're an idiot. Like just put it away, hang it up, you know?
Is it like the, man, airline food? Huh?
Yeah. It's like, oh, that weather out there is just crazy. Like, you know, like those sort of jokes. But like in my head, you know, when you write it versus, that was the other bad thing too. It's like when you write stuff, oh, this can actually relate to songwriting as well. Like when I was writing that sort of stuff, I would write it and then in my head it sounded good. And then I said it out loud and then I was like, actually, that's not funny and no one's going to laugh at that. Have you written stuff that...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like,
we've had many been like, oh, man, this song's going to be... And then it just doesn't pan out.
Yeah, like as soon as you start like singing it and like it just doesn't click and it's like, do you guys just scrap the song? Or do you guys like try to like rebuild it?
We definitely try to rebuild it and sometimes it just doesn't.
Does that like, that's gotta like hurt sometimes though, doesn't it? Like to like let go of something that you...
Yeah, in a way. But we always know we're going to write something better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can't say the same with the stand-up stuff. I'm just never going to write anything better than what I've already done, so I'll just hang that one up. But yeah, no, that's interesting. Like, so do you write the songs, or is it like all four of you?
We all as a collective.
Okay.
Yeah, we all as a collective write.
Interesting. How many songs do you have like released? Like
released?
That are like your own. Because I haven't like counted actually.
Well, we just released. Last week, the week before, no, last week, we released a single, "Too Much to Please."
Yep, I did see you guys.
And then in January, we released the Dealer. So that's 2 new ones. So what do we have? We have Easy, Raspberry, Self-Titled, Queen of the Dawn. I want to say 7. I think 7 is out at the moment.
Okay. Can you say like how many you have like in the pipeline, or is that like confidential information?
We have a lot in the...
A lot?
Yeah,
okay.
we just have to...
Do you guys just kind of like hop around to like different songs and then just like they kind of just get done as they get done? Okay.
Yeah. I definitely would like to do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am. Like, just finish this one, but it doesn't work out that way.
That's how I am too. Yeah, like, well, this podcast is a perfect example. I've like worked on it for like 7 months and like finally, like we got it.
We're here now.
We're here now. It's like finally coming to tuition. So yeah, no, I'm the same way. I got like OCD or something where it's like I can only focus on one thing at a time. And like if I'm like trying to do like 3 things at once, it just takes like 10 times longer.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know if you feel like this, but like it's like you hate it and you love it at the same time. Like you like that trait about you that like you're like, okay, I can get things done, but like it's annoying that you can't multitask. Like I can't multitask at all. I'm like the worst at it.
Yeah, I'm not that good at multitasking.
No, it's like
not really.
I feel like
I'm gonna have to learn, but
yeah, I feel like a stick. Like I'm only good at
one
like
thing.
One thing.
Yeah,
which is like being thrown and then a dog picks me up. Like I'm like only good at one thing at a time. so like I just can't. Yeah, that's it. Like multitasking is just not my strong suit. Now, do you have like any other hobbies that you do other than music? Is there another, is there something else out there that
Dude,
you have a passion about?
I love working on cars, old cars.
Yeah.
I have a 66 Chrysler New Yorker.
Oh yeah. What engine's in that?
440.
Damn. Okay.
I love that thing.
Yeah.
That's my baby. So I got that. And I work at Cumming Motors. Like I work at a body shop.
Oh yeah.
So I've been doing that for 4 years too. I started that at about the same time.
I also have that. I have a similar interest in working on cars. I love working on cars. I
could see by your shirt there.
Yeah, I had a 1976 Chevy Corvette, and then like a dumbass, I sold it. That was my dream car, and the guy I bought it off of, I guess it was like wet out, and he went to like pull out of a stop sign too quick. Ass end went out, and then he hit a curb, and he was like, "Oh, it's just the control arm or whatever," and it turned out to be like the whole ass frame was like bent up.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and I got under the car and looked, and I was like, I should have known because like I saw the frame, and I was like, that doesn't look quite right, but maybe I can fix it. And I didn't fix it, and it's in some kid's garage that's been sitting there for like 2 years now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it ran really well, and I put like so much money into the engine and like $1,000 into the exhaust. Like I had like the side pipes and everything on it, and yeah, I still kick myself in the ass for that one. Like I really wish I just didn't get rid of it. But yeah, cars is another huge like hobby of mine as well. So do you want to have like a car collection someday? That's yeah, it's me too. Are you only into vintage cars, or like is like some of the newer cars cool
I'm
too?
not huge into the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's just
they're not as easy to work on. That's for one. Yeah.
No, I do it every day.
Yep.
No. I don't know. My dream car is a 1970 Chevelle SS with 454 in it.
Yeah. That's a nice car.
That is my dream car. But I love a Mopar. I'm a Mopar guy through and through.
Oh, really?
I am.
Oh, man. Well, that's it for this podcast episode. No, yeah, I only owned one Mopar vehicle in my life. It was a Chrysler 200, so it wasn't like it was anything crazy. But I hated that car. It drove me nuts. Numerous problems. Like, yeah, I just got rid of it, and then I got a Honda. And, the Honda, obviously, they're notorious for being reliable, so that's what I got. And, yeah, I also saw you have is it like a Lincoln Town Car?
Yeah, that's gone now.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah.
I saw
that was a nice car to do that. Lincoln Town Car?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I only saw one video of it, and you were stuck in the snow.
Yeah, that was at Trey's house.
Yeah. Well, so are you solely driving the Chrysler then?
No, I have a F-150 outside.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now, do you have any plans for like the Chrysler though? Like that car?
Just to cruise. I want to take it on the road trips for sure. But
really? How many miles does it have?
39,000.
Really? You don't mind me asking how much you pay for that thing?
$7,000.
That's it?
$7,000 for that car.
Really? 39,000. How much you buy it? Like, how many miles did it have when you bought it?
39,000.
Oh, so it just hasn't really moved. Like, it's just been.
I've taken it around town.
But like, you haven't.
But I haven't went out yet. No.
Yeah. Okay,
no.
I gotcha.
I'm just making sure everything's good on it.
Sure. No, that's smart. Yeah, but I couldn't say the same. I would just like be driving that thing all over the place and putting miles on it.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, it's tough. I have that Mercedes AMG out there, and like it's so hard not to like drive them. Like especially like if you like cars, like it's tough to like not.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's so hard, especially when you have like a daily driver, and it's like you go out to the driveway and there's like two options there. One's really nice and one's not, and it's like it just sucks. But like it's the right decision to like go with like the lesser of the two, I guess. Yeah, no. So back to like the music stuff, because I did want to ask you this, and I might have a guess, but inspiration, like, do you have any inspirations, like for, like, what got you into music in the first place?
Oh yeah, for sure. The Doors, Jim Morrison. I was like 13, and I watched the Doors movie.
They're my favorite band of all time. Like, without
They're my
a doubt.
number two. They're my
Yeah.
number two. Metallica is my favorite band ever.
Really?
I've seen them twice. I love them.
I actually didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
I definitely expected like a late 60s.
I have every
like,
album. I love Metallica. Even Saint Anger. You heard it here. I love Saint Anger. Don't care.
no, I respect that.
Yeah, I watched the Doors movie when I was like 13, and I was like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to do that. And then, I was little, and I used to go to all the local shows and watch all the bands play around town, and I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, these guys are like, they have people. Like,
Yeah.
And I want to do that. So
Is that like a, is that like a, I don't know what the right, like, wording would be, but is that like a serotonin boost? Like, because you almost have complete control of a crowd.
Oh, dude, it's like a high.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even describe it to you what being up there performing is like, especially with when the four of you, like the four of us, are in the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
You can't touch it. You just can't touch it.
Has there been a time where like you haven't been like on the same wavelength, or like stuff has just gone completely wrong?
There's been one time where after the set, Kenton broke his guitar, just destroyed it on stage.
Oh my gosh. Like, on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah,
that was a stupid question.
He was very upset. Just very mad. But the show was great, and it was almost like a movie. Like, people thought it was part of the act. Like,
What was he mad about?
it was hot out, and I don't know, to him, I don't know, really.
You don't got to start anything on here. We don't need
I don't know what he was mad about, but it was just, it happened, and it was like, whoa. But it was still we were all still there together doing that, and it was nuts. So yeah, I don't know.
But have you guys had like a moment where like it's just been like a meltdown where like just maybe it was like, I don't know, you guys were like offbeat, or like you guys weren't synced up or something?
I mean, yeah, you have your bad shows for sure.
Okay.
But even through our bad shows, I think we still stick it out and manage to get through it. But
Has there been like moments where like you guys were like maybe this isn't for us? Like you thought maybe like it was over, or like have you always been like a very tight knit like group of guys where like no matter what like is thrown at you, you're gonna continue to move through it?
yeah, we've always been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
it gets hard.
Really,
We're not even like, we're just like this big in the world of what this is. But
I've always like, I don't know. I've always wondered like how, obviously like a lot of like history shows, like a lot of band breakups are from like songwriting differences and like,
oh, for sure,
you know, stuff like that.
There's 4 different people coming in.
Yeah.
That all have a different look at life, all of them, and you have to sit there and write something that you all 4 think is brilliant.
Probably a lot of compromising.
Yes.
Tons. Like there's like, obviously like anybody who's like a Led Zeppelin fan knows like Robert Plant like infamously hates Stairway to Heaven, like just does not like that song, and it's like one of the greatest songs of all time, let alone their best song probably.
Right.
Not in my opinion, but yeah, that's just, I always wonder, like, because it happens at any level, regardless if you're like, a huge superstar and like versus like a small town.
Yeah, I mean it's tough,
That's good though that you guys have like pushed through that. Now, your best show of all time, was it the Steve Miller opening, or was it something else?
Like our best performance?
Just maybe like one that you guys like walked away from and you're like we can't, like that feeling was just at its peak of like that, like being that like pumped up, I guess. I don't know stage performance terms.
the Steve Miller Show was definitely not our best performance of all time. Like, it was a great thing. It happened, but
Yeah.
man, our best performance where we all just walked off and was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like we just fucking killed that. Like, just like we just did such a good job on that performance. Like, was there a moment like that?
Probably. Man, we've had so many of those though. It's so tough.
He's like, yeah, we do that all the time.
No, we definitely do not do that all the time. There's times I don't know, man. We just had one. We played at this place called Phantom Power in Millersville, and that was a pretty wicked set. We had Alex Snyder from the Pines. He was our special guest on the keys, and it's always insane when he's there. Like,
I like I don't, every time I've hung out with those guys, like I don't talk to him that much, but like he's always like that one that's like quiet, but he's like cool. Like,
once you get to know him,
cool
man.
Thing about him, yeah.
Once you get to know him, man, yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of my personal. I was like, yeah, that was. Then we just played at this place. Okay, no, actually, scrap that. That was a great set, and that I still stick to what I said. But this place in Leonardstown we just played at, it's called the Rex Theater.
Mm-hmm.
That was nuts, insane. I mean, just the energy. The crowd was like, again, it was like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great, man. It was great.
That's awesome. Damn. Do you think you'll have now this like, I guess, tour coming up? I mean, you just saying Nashville's like pretty crazy, but like, are you excited for those shows coming up here?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Traveling, go do what we do just every night.
So
yeah.
if you work at a garage, like, is your boss just like, yeah, man, just take off? Like, you know,
Oh, he's been great with me for
the
whole time that I've needed to go, but we're about ready to tackle this full time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
So
that's awesome. Holy shit. So like, are you guys like looking for like a manager, agent? Like, or sign with a label, something like that? Like, what? I guess what I'm asking is like, what's full time?
We have some things in the works at the moment.
That's awesome.
Nothing's like, signed, sealed, delivered yet, so I'm not going to say nothing. But
sure, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be broke pretty much. But that's how you have to be.
Hey, listen, I get it. Like, if you want to be like an artist and like you want to entertain people, like you got to starve. You got to starve sometimes. So,
yeah. I'm totally in for it.
That's good.
I'm so in.
That's sick. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. Like, that's so cool. Like, something coming out of this town, like has that much prominence. Like, that's just something cool to like for your local town to get behind and like support. Same thing with like the Pines, like those guys, like they're a talented group of guys as well. And like, I actually found them before I found you guys, and you both have like that vintage, style
sure,
and everything.
Yeah,
and like, I was just immediately attracted to that. I was like, that is so fucking cool. Like,
well, that video you did for those guys, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, that was so much fun. And like, I still go back and watch that, and I just think like those guys were just so fun to work with. And like the Bell Bottoms, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, what the fuck? Like, these kids are like 18. Like, what the hell? Like, that's insane. And I guess it's something, it's like a needle in a haystack. You just don't see it often. Everyone now is like into like rap music where they're just talking about like the most explicit shit of like,
yeah,
I'm going to screw your woman and shoot your dog and like just crazy
rock and
shit.
roll adds just a little class to that. That's
it's like, it's poetry. I think it's like,
it's not some class to the,
instead of just saying like, yeah, it's like rappers are like, I'm going to fuck your bitch. But then like, rock, they're like, I'm going to make love to your woman. It's like, it's just, everything is so much, it doesn't sound as bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything's so vulgar with the rap music. I listen to it, so I can't really say much, but like, I'll always choose the rock music over rap any day. But, yeah, seeing like a young group of people, and I'm saying that like I'm that old, I'm 22, so like I'm not that old. But seeing someone our age, have that vintage, like they were supposed to be born in like the 70s or like the 60s. Like that's just, I don't know. That's just always fascinated me. And like, I've always been like that, like an old soul. Do you get told that a lot?
I get told that.
Yeah. Like I'm always like, oh, you're such an old soul. Cause like I'm into like everything that's like old. And, I don't know, I guess it was like refreshing to like see, that like, I'm not the only one. Like there's a lot of people like that.
It's on the rise, man.
It is. I really think that like
there's a musical movement happening right now.
The whole thing of like history repeats itself is like so true. Like this is like, I don't know if this is a stretch, but I don't know, maybe not. But like I see a lot more people wearing like bell-bottom jeans and bell-bottom leggings and stuff. Like bell-bottoms were a thing of the past, and like now they're making a comeback. I mean, I don't know if this counts, but like Kendrick Lamar was just at the Super Bowl and he was wearing like these.
Yes,
like,
he was.
He was wearing bell bottoms. Like, I don't know. It's really cool to see, and it's like refreshing because you don't have all these like the mumble rap era is finally like leaving. I think. I think. So like you can start to understand people again. So that's nice. But yeah, no, it's cool. Like you guys are like part of that movement. That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, like, Laurel Canyon out in California, that's making a huge comeback right now. You got, like, bands, so there's us, like, we're here, but you got Visitor out of Ohio, Velvet Daydream out of Colorado, you got Red Voodoo and Mojo Aces and Ace Monroe and just all these other bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what are your plans like for the future? Like I mean, obviously I'm sure like, making it to the top is probably one of your things, but like before you get there, like what are your like stepping stones, I guess? Like
Oh, definitely putting out an album.
Sure. Yeah.
Putting out an album, touring that album, playing, just making ourselves known around, which is, I mean, it's going to be what this tour is going to be. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be fun. But sharing a stage with all these other bands that are also just making this thing happen.
Yeah.
We've already shared the stage with Velvet Daydream and Cinema Stereo. Like, it's just a crazy experience. It's awesome. Because it's like looking in a mirror, really.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, you guys are doing the, like, you're doing it too.
Yeah, you're like standing across from people that are like wearing the same thing as you. It's like we're like this. Like wonder. I'm curious. Like back then, like when you had like the Led Zeppelins, the Deep Purple, and all that stuff. Like, I wonder if like when they were all kind of playing at the same places together and stuff, if they thought the same thing. It's like we're trying to make a movement here, and then it eventually turned into like what was like the British invasion and shit like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's just, I'm not like, as I'm sitting here, I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, damn, like that could actually like happen again. Like, I mean, apart from the British part, but like American, revival, I guess.
You got at the top, like the forefathers of this movement. You got Greta Van Fleet, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you got like the band called Feel. They're huge right now.
I haven't even heard them.
You gotta listen to those guys. They're crazy
Feel?
good. Yeah,
That's
the band called Feel.
Oh, the band called Feel. Okay. I gotta listen to them.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Okay.
Very, very good. Dirty Honey, they're at the top. They just had Feel just open for them on their last tour.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
So, I mean, it's coming.
Yeah. Are you excited for it?
Yes, very much.
I figured so. I would do it, but like I feel like I don't have like the balls. Like I feel like you got more balls than I do. Like to live like that. Like I always love like, I do dress with like more like class, like less of like the, I guess like, I'm mostly, not now, but like I mostly dress like a 1970s like stockbroker. Like I always have like a black trench coat and like a, collared shirts and shit. But like I've always like had respect for like that funky groovy side of like that era. But yeah, that's sick. Like what keeps you like living that other than the music? Like,
It's just feels right.
Yeah.
Just slap on a pair of bell bottoms and some platform boots and a t-shirt, man.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels right.
Yeah.
Put on a record. I would much rather listen to a record than listen to a CD or stream something off my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just there. It's physical. You feel involved, really.
Yeah, yeah. Does like the technology wave, like, does that like piss you off? Like, do you wish that like things were like?
Oh, for sure. I wish it was like
Yeah.
that. Like finding out about shows through a magazine or a radio ad instead of like I wish it would go back to that. And some of it, like Cream, the magazine, it's coming back, or it did come back already. But I don't know. There's just something about everything about that time period to me. It's just the style, the cars, the music, everything.
It was more colorful. Like,
yeah, it was so much more colorful.
Like, I feel like if you threw us in 1975 right now, like, one, we'd be way happier, because I think technology has like ruined like everybody's brain.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd be way happier. Everything we look at is like more vibrant. The cars were fucking yellow, green.
That's what I mean,
indigo.
dude. You go to a car lot, it's white, gray, black, dark blue, dark red. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Like those are it's all these like dull colors that just like.
Life's boring, man.
Yeah, and then you look at like even like film, like video footage from back then. Everything's like just like blooming with color, and like you look at you go outside with your phone right now and like record outside. It's like gray as shit. Like it's just gray.
Yeah.
And like people are just like, when the sun's out, it's like everyone's excited because like it's the first time they see color, and like. And it's not even a lot of color at that point. Like it's still like bland as hell. Yeah, everything back then, even like advertising, like
it was involved, man.
Yeah,
people cared.
Yeah,
everything
was so
type it and throw it away. Like it was. Yeah. People cared. That's just, and that's what we're trying to do too. Like not even just, obviously through the music and through the band, but trying to just revive that whole way of.
Lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because like there is something to say, like when you're, it's summer outside, it's like a nice crisp 78 degrees and you got the windows down, you're blasting Deep Purple going down, a highway or boulevard, and you're listening to that music, like that type of music playing in that setting in that way gives you like you feel like you're on top of the world. Like it's not the same feeling of any other type of music I've ever listened to. Like, like without a doubt. There's times where I'll listen to like a rap song, like Dr. Dre or something, and I'm like, I feel like a badass, and the person next to me probably thinks like, who the hell's a scrawny kid like thinking he's a thug? But like it's when you listen to that older music, it's just like. It puts you in a whole different mind space, I guess. Like,
I mean, I'm a old country guy. Okay, like
I get down with that too.
80s and 90s country. Yeah. I love like Travis Tritt, and Tracy Lawrence, and Tracy Byrd. Like I can get down on that stuff too, just twanging.
Yeah. I've been getting into a lot of like Marty Robbins recently.
Yeah, El Paso.
Yeah. I like myself some Marty Robbins, and like, every time I hear. I don't know if you're a fan of Toby Keith at all.
Oh, I love Toby Keith.
Every time I hear him, like I almost like want to cry. Like every time, because I actually didn't even like I always appreciated his music, but like after he passed, I think it was just like I don't know, it kind of hit me because like he was such a like lively
human being.
Yeah, just like happy-go-lucky man, and like I just every time I hear his music, it's just like. I don't know. It's always like almost wants to make me cry because it's like, damn, like I wish he was still around,
Yeah, his stuff's great. I love his stuff.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of country music now is just like, I'm sad. Like that's
now
like,
I can get. Have you heard Zach Top yet?
I haven't heard him.
He sounds just straight out of the '90s.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean he's got it down, packed like. Twanging, he's.
Do you know? I'm sure you like Colter Wall.
I like Colter Wall. I do like some of that stuff.
I do like Colter Wall. His voice is just like crazy. Like
he's at the complete opposite spectrum from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm here and then he's over here.
Yeah. When I heard him and like the first time I heard him, I don't remember who showed me. Yes, I do actually. A good buddy of mine showed me him and he's like, how old do you think this person is? I'm like, dude, he's got to be like 65. Like he sounds like rough. Like, and he's like, he's 27 at the time or whatever. I was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
Like how? Like that's crazy. But his voice is like amazing. And like, he has that whole, you know, vintage country look to him, that, you know, you just don't get with like Morgan Wallen or whatever. I mean, I'm a guy that like, I kind of like all music, but
Look, I respect your musical taste and I respect everybody's opinion.
yeah, yeah.
It's just not my thing.
That's totally cool. Like I used to only listen to like classic rock. That's all I listened to. And like anything else was like garbage, like rap, country. I hated all of it. Like it was only vintage rock music I listened to. And then like I graduated high school. And then I hung around a lot of people that listened to rap music. Then I got into rap music and I'm like, oh, I like this. And then I hung around a bunch of like backwoods, like mudding people. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like I fucking love country music. Like, and now I have an appreciation to like all of it. Cause like I've done a little bit of everything, but, like meaning like fun things to do with your friends, not like drugs. Like, no, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, I sort of figured.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I've done a little bit of everything.
There's nothing wrong with some experimentation.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, were you only always into just one genre and then kind of explored other ones, or has it always been like you're pretty tight knit with your musical tastes?
I've tried to get into rap music and like pop music. It's just not there for me.
Yeah, you listen to it and you're like,
Turn it down. Because to me, it's not real.
Yeah, yeah. It's extremely like exaggerated, like all of it.
Like I know that you have to sit down and you have to like make the beat and whatever. Mm-hmm. But just from speaking on personal experience, like we sit down and we write the whole thing.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I've noticed, like if you go on Spotify and you're like, you go to like the song credits, do you see how many people it takes to write these shitty songs? Like, no, it's crazy. There's like 12 people on. Okay, so there's like one guy who performed, Kanye West. Let's just say, well, probably a bad example at this point in time. Who else is like not in trouble right now? I can't even think of a rapper. Just think of any rapper, whatever. Like you go to his song and you go to their song credits. He's the only one performing it, but then there's like 12 people that are like also writing it. It's like, but then you go to like songs from like even like 2005 and before. Like there's like the person who performed it, maybe a songwriter, and that was it. But like now you have like, I do it sometime. Like it's crazy. Like how many songs like have just like a huge list of just people. Like it's like, why the fuck do we need this many people to write a song? And it's usually always these like, Sexy Red is a perfect example. Like she sucks and she just says like shake that ass and that's all she says the whole song, and it takes 10 people to write that. It's like anybody could have thought of that. Like just think of the most grotesque thing and like just put it on paper. Like what the hell? I get so heated over that. We could just move on. But yeah, no, I find more appreciation with like they're the artist who performed it, they wrote it, it's their song, it's not anybody else's. You know.
Now I do know, I know a couple of rappers around here, and they write everything.
Yeah.
And they have actual instruments on it, and and that I do actually. I enjoy listening to that, but because I know that they put the effort in to sit, and that's their masterpiece. So I can appreciate that.
I'm sure it pisses them off that like they're sitting there, they're like writing this, they're like doing it all themselves, and then they just know there's somewhere out there's a Sexy Red, there's a whatever, all these Lil this, Lil that, they're all out there, and they're just probably not really doing a lot of writing at all, and they're just performing the mumble shit. And I bet you that like those local like rappers and stuff are actually like writing their own stuff, producing their own stuff. Like that has to piss them off. It would piss me off. Like it would just make me so mad. Like, because you always feel like I feel like I would feel like they don't like deserve it. Maybe that it's like probably a rude way to say it, but like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I feel like they just don't respect their craft.
Yeah.
If you
said it much better than I did. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it's just like, well, they have all this money now. It's like I'll just hire 10 people to shake that ass and snort crack and whatever else they're saying, and I just walk away with the money. It's like it's just not. I feel like it's not fair. Like it's not fair to like the actual artists who are like trying to make a name for themselves off of their actual talent. But what do you do? It's the world today. So
yeah, it is.
Which you're trying to reverse that, so that's good. But I guess tell the audience where they can kind of find your guys' stuff and where they can follow you guys. Yeah,
we have a website, sweetdesireband.com. We have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music. We're on all of it, really. So yeah, we're coming to your house at some point. Your actual house.
Completely legal, though, in a most legal way possible.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Well, awesome, man. I mean, I appreciate the time. It's an honor to have you as our first guest. So
I'm very honored to be the first guest.
That's pretty sick. I didn't tell you that until you got here.
No, you didn't.
Yep, I didn't want to tell you. So I should have actually told you after, so that I didn't there wasn't like all this pressure of like, oh, you're the first one. But like, what the hell? It's all good now. Doesn't matter.
We made it.
Yeah, it's good. I feel good about it. I feel like we had a good conversation.
Yeah.
I got to come see you guys live. I've been wanting to for so long because I've had all my friends go, and my one friend Jake, he goes on and on about you guys, about like how crazy your voice is, how like the sound. Like he's been to McGarvey's a couple times where you guys have played.
Well, March 15th.
March 15th.
McGarvey's.
I will look at my calendar and I will try to make it to that because I definitely want to come see you guys live. I haven't seen it yet, and I've been meaning to.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time.
Absolutely. Well, that's the first episode of Beyond the Set. Thank you, Jordan, for being here.
Thank you.
And check out those guys, Sweet Desire, on everything he just said, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Take care.